Hi guys, how's it going? So Star Wars Squadron has been released, very exciting for everybody. The question is, where can you purchase it for the best price? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Hello, bonjour, comment ça va? Welcome to the channel. If this is your very first time, nice to meet you. And welcome back to all our regular subscribers. Whew, you're awesome. Thanks for your continued support. And by the way, how are you doing? How are things in your part of the world? Is COVID better now? Do leave a comment below so that we can have more of a chat. I think that would be pretty cool. This is, by the way, VR Essentials, where we talk about the practical uses of virtual reality. And today, whew, I'm so pumped. We're talking about Star Wars Squadron, of course. And do subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of different videos about Star Wars Squadron, not just a review, but other things. But today we're talking about where you could potentially buy it for the best price. So just in case you're new to virtual reality or you've never played a game using a PC before, what happens when you make a purchase is you'll be provided with what is called a CD key. So this key, you'll copy paste it in whatever platform. Generally speaking, it will be a platform called Steam, and then it will unlock the game and download directly on your computer. So over the years, there have been a whole bunch of different affiliates and resellers that have been popping up online. If you were to do a search for CD key Star Wars Squadron in your search engine, you'll see there'll be so many different search results. It can be pretty intimidating and also, of course, time consuming because you have to go through every single one by one. And not to mention that a lot of these resellers, what they do is they go into all these different countries to find CD keys really for cheap and then resell them for a premium, which can put pressure on official resellers, and not to mention they're not being vetted through by the original game publishers, so you could well fall victim if you make a purchase and then not receiving your key. But there are a few that are quite reputable, so I'll put a link in the description below the like button, so do go and check those out after this video. And also let me share with you how potentially you could be protected. So I spent some considerable time online trying to find the best place where you could purchase Star Wars Squadron for the cheapest price as possible. And if this is an option for you, for example, if you're not really someone who likes to purchase games all the time, or maybe you play much more PC titles versus PCVR titles, then EA have a solution which is called EA Play Pro, which is basically a subscription-based platform where you pay from $29 or $30 per month. And then of course, the moment that you cancel the subscription, then the game will forfeit and will disappear. But you could also have the choice to purchase the game on the spot without any subscription whatsoever. So this could be specifically useful, as I mentioned, if you're someone who plays a lot of different games on PC only, because they only have a very few amount of PCVR titles. And by the way, there is another platform very similar to EA Play Pro, which is called Viveport. And Viveport specializes more on the VR side of things. But unfortunately, Star Wars Squadron is not available on Viveport at the moment. Another option is to purchase it from Steam. If you're not familiar with who they are, Steam are the most official and recognized platform in the world when it comes to downloading PCVR and also PC titles. They have every title unimaginable that you can think of on the platform. However, it is not the cheapest option, but if you want guarantee and 100% trust, then that could be an option for you. Now, if you're more of a maverick and you enjoy taking a little bit more risks and you want to go via the CD key route, which are not official resellers nominated by the game publisher, well, one of the resellers that I have been going to that I find has been safe so far is a platform called Eneba. As I mentioned before, there's so many of these different platforms around. There's certain things you're going to want to do to make sure that you're protected as much as possible. The first thing that you should do is make sure that there's either a money back guarantee or some form of support that is provided by the platform. If you're on one of these websites and you find that it's really hard to find where the contact button is, or it's just difficult to navigate where you're supposed to get hold of support or get able to get information about getting a refund or FAQ or anything like that, then that is a red flag. You may want to look at another platform. If your gut at any point in time tells you, I'm just not sure, then simply don't take the risk. The information about protection on these websites has to be made very clear in plain English that's easy to understand and presented in a very professional way. Now, another thing that you could do, of course, is copy paste the name of that website and do a search for it and see whether, there are any bad reviews out there or any comments on Reddit or other platforms where people have potentially had a bad experience or equally a really good experience, which could potentially give you more confidence to want to purchase from one of these platforms. Another thing to be aware of is that the price fluctuates on these unofficial resellers. So generally they change every 2 or 3 weeks or so, but One day it could be $20 cheaper than the official price, and then the other it could be $20 above the actual price on the game publisher's website. The platform that you go to also needs to be very clear and very easy to navigate to find out the information as to how to activate the CD key. Now, normally speaking, when you are purchasing a CD key from an unofficial reseller, they will provide you a Steam key. So you will need to download Steam on your computer, and then you will go to add key, which is at the bottom left hand side, and then go through the different steps, put the key in, and then boom, you can basically activate it from there. Now, there's a lot of information on these different platforms which looks quite cluttery and can make things look quite confusing. So do make sure that before you press the buy confirm button that it is in the platform that you need it in. So for example, if you're purchasing in PSVR, make sure it's a PSVR and not PC version, and equally if you're buying for PCVR, then make sure it's not the PSVR version. The platform should also make it clear as to what comes with the CD key and what the game's about, with pictures of the game, potentially a trailer of the game, any information that you will find on Steam, because again, Steam is the most official global platform. So if it looks different from Steam, then chances are there might be an issue with the unofficial reseller. Another thing to make sure when you go on these reseller websites is to make sure you can activate it in your own country. So generally speaking, they have a global version, but again, make sure that this platform can provide you the ability to double check that you can actually activate it in your country, because if it doesn't, then you might be taking a subsequent other risk where you can purchase it, you get the key, but then you won't be able to activate it in your own country. Another tip is that you can potentially save money by checking the different currency values. So for example, you can change it from euros to UK pound sterling to US dollar or whatever it might be. So for example, purchasing a game in US dollars for me here in Singapore is cheaper than purchasing it in euros due to the currency fluctuation. Another tip in choosing a non-official reseller would be that make sure that you can purchase the game without having to necessarily create an account with that reseller, because generally what will happen is they'll take your email address, they'll forward it to someone else, and then you might actually start getting a lot of spam. So do make sure you can make a purchase without having to create a login of any kind. Whichever reseller you decide to make your purchase from, make sure that they provide you the option to make payment using a third-party platform. For example, I use PayPal, and there are two reasons why. First of all, I don't have to input my credit card inside the reseller's website, which provides me with added security. And secondly, if I want my money back and I may have an issue with the actual platform, I can go through PayPal to mediate a potential refund. Another thing that you can do is look at the reviews of the different resellers within the platforms themselves. Make sure that they have good scores, good stars, or good reviews from various different people. And again, what you could do is copy paste the name of those sub people who are listing within there, and potentially you can find them online where other people have left reviews that are not part of the platform, where it would substantiate their confidence before you actually make the purchase. Now, I've used Inabac quite a number of times, and I know other people who've used them as well, and none of us have had an issue. However, this is not a sponsored video, and this video is in no means to persuade you to use their platform, so we cannot be held responsible. If anything goes wrong, you are ultimately the one who decides where you choose to make your purchase of any VR application.